5 years old. So in a minute, we're going to have Sister Jacqueline's going to give us an update on the center. And as I thought about how I would introduce her to give that update, a couple things came to mind that I just wanted to share. One point was I thought about kind of the history of New Hampshire and Manchester and all that. And I think sometimes we think we're living in unique times with unique challenges when I think in reality we kind of, history repeats itself. The United States is a nation of immigrants. We're a melting pot. I think of people from all over the globe, and I think that's what gives us our strength. And I suspect if we went around the room, we would all know our ancestry, kind of our heritage, where we came from. I know I'm French Canadian and then back to France. My wife, her grandparents came through Ellis Island from Italy, met here and got married. I know everybody's got a story out there, and I think that's what makes us better and a better nation. The complexion of New Hampshire and especially Manchester has really changed over the years, or it's always been kind of in flux. You know, before, back in the 1900s, there was a large population of French Canadians that came in to Manchester, as well as Greeks and Irish, just to name a few. Here, you know, now today, we have people from Bosnia, the Congo, China, Bhutan, Nepal. So maybe some of the countries of origin have changed, and maybe the concentrations are smaller, but the diversity is greater. So that was one point. The other point was, working for St. Mary's Bank, I started thinking about the history of St. Mary's. In 2008, we celebrated our 100th anniversary as the first credit union in the nation. It started on the west side of Manchester by Monsignor Heavey, local leader in the church, who was looking out for his parishioners and noticed an unmet need his parishioners had for safe, affordable banking. They spoke primarily French. The banks were on the other side of the river. And it was really for people with money. He had heard about a concept of financial cooperatives that had started in Canada. So he went up there, investigated it, brought somebody back down with him, met with his parishioners and said, what do we think? And they voted to start the first credit union November 24th, 1908, right there on the west side of Manchester. And now here we are, you know, a little over 100 years later. We have Sister Jacqueline and the Sisters of Holy Cross starting something literally a school a block away from the original St. Mary's to serve another underserved population of people that are looking to learn English, citizenship, and becoming part of the community. So I think it's pretty amazing the similarities and the connections. And again, those were kind of my two observations. At this time, I'd like to ask our award-winning Executive Director, Jacqueline, Sister Jacqueline, if you want to say a few words.
Good evening.
Sit down, Jeremy.
I have a paper here somewhere. I'd like to thank all of you for coming tonight, for attending our one and only fundraiser of the year. I think it will be the best one yet. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Holy Cross Family Learning Center. We opened our doors on October 4th, 2010, with about 45 adult students. Since that time, we have instructed over 350 adults in the English language. We have attended citizenship ceremonies of over 25 of our students. We've attended weddings, naming ceremonies of new babies, birthday parties, and recently we've been asked to host a Mundan, which is a Hindu tradition for a child's first haircut. and that will be done at our center in July. We have 18 volunteer retired teachers who come twice a week, either Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, for 2 hours at a time. We also have substitute teachers, and this year we were most fortunate to have 11 service learners from St. Anselm College. One of our teachers comes from as far away as Warren, New Hampshire. Our teachers and substitutes are most dedicated, and I'd like to ask them to stand at this time. All of our teachers, would you stand, please? Stand up, Catherine. Thank you. They usually tell me that they receive more than they give, but I know they work very hard and give all they have. We also teach citizenship, civics, computer skills, and offer sewing alterations. You may have seen our ad in the Spectrum Monthly that arrives at your door. Spectrum has been very good to Holy Cross Family Learning Center, and we want to thank them profusely for all that they do, as well as for the beautiful illustrated booklets on your tables. I don't know if you're aware that we offer alterations at Holy Cross Family Learning Center. We have a suggested donation list, but all clients may leave whatever donation they feel generous that they want to give. This money is put into a pot and divided among the students who have worked on the items. Each student is rewarded with this money every 2 weeks. So they get a little bit of income and they can help their families. Tonight you will see for the first time the sewing skills of many of our students. Most of them have sewn their own dresses or made dresses for their friends. Each dress is unique and representative of that ethnic group. This past year we have served 126 students from 32 ethnic groups. If you look through your booklets, you will see where they're from. They're from all corners of the world. Many of our students are here tonight. Would you please all stand? All the students from Holy Cross Family Center, stand please. I'd like to call to the podium Amy Chom. We have a little surprise for you, Amy. To Amy Chom, as we anticipate our 6th anniversary, we wish to express our gratitude for your dedicated service on the Board of Directors. Your continued support of and interest in the mission of the Holy Cross Family Learning Center. Thank you for the integral part you have played in its growth. This was a surprise. She didn't know she was getting this. Okay. Now you can do your speech.
Greetings. Thank you is what I need to say for all of your patience while we fix the kerfuffle with the food. When we do this organization, it's run by volunteers, right? Sister volunteers her time, her teachers volunteer time, and when we put on this event, it's actually run by all volunteers, including our vendor who provides us our food. This event cost us $51 to put on, and we make about $15,000 every year. So although you might be a little bit hungry, and I do promise food is coming, we really appreciate your patience and understanding. But this little hiccup where he thought the event might have been tomorrow. So, he's coming, he's coming. So Sister asked that I read a letter from Kelly Ayotte. So if you bear with me for a moment. It says, Sister Jacqueline, we're holy guests. Congratulations to Holy Cross Family Learning Center as you gather to celebrate your spaghetti supper and cultural fashion show. I'm proud of your good work throughout the year and I commend you as you celebrate and fundraise for further efforts here in the Queen City. I would like to thank Sister Jacqueline and the dedicated staff, as well as those who give their time and talent to make this such a vital and caring place in our community. As you gather to share a meal, I hope that you will reflect on the incredible impact your work has had on so many lives. You improve the future for countless individuals, and we cannot thank you enough for what you do. I wish you the very best for continued success. Sincerely, Senator Kelly Ayotte. And so for our sponsors, we always have to give them a shout out. Without them, this event would not be possible. We have Spectrum Marketing Companies, Dime, St. Mary's Bank, Anagnos Companies, Antrim Blue Cross Blue Shield, St. Anselm's Abbey, Martini Northern Construction, AW Roads Construction, Barry Dunn, Buford Funeral Home, Colleen Cowett, Denron Plumbing and Heating, Sisters of Holy Cross, M5 Marketing Communications, Telephone Network Technologies, Craig Deachman and Amen Law Firm, and the Global Coin Exchange. Without their financial support and their support throughout the community, spreading the word of our center, we would not be as successful as we are today. So thank you. Back to you, Sister Jacqueline.
Monica? You want the ladies out there? All the women in fashion show, would you go out in the hallway, please? All the women for the fashion show. I need to let you know that this owl here in the front, this owl is a sample of what was given to us at Holy Cross Family Learning Center, and many of the women took pieces of owls to add to their costume. They either took the top part and made a blouse, or they took some of the lace and put it on their dresses. So they were donated to us by the Diocese of Manchester. So we just want you to know that. You will see the wonderful job that they all did with their dresses. Your food is coming, I promise.